Here we go, everybody. Let's get into the MMA session. It's the Modern Man and David. Let's talk Bellator 222. The first fight of the night we'll be talking about is Adam Borics versus Aaron Pico. Adam Borics is coming into this fight with an 8-0 record, matching up against Aaron Pico, who's 4-2. I'm actually very excited about this matchup. Adam Borics has a lot to offer Aaron Pico. Sure, he isn't one of the most veteran, most experienced fighters in the Bellator roster right now, but that's the upside to me. I believe that's the reason why they've matched up Adam Borics versus Aaron Pico. They want to take some of that shine from Aaron Pico, and they want to put it on someone who is the next possible star. Aaron Pico hasn't been working out too well, I'm not trying to put him down. I'm still on the Aaron Pico bandwagon, actually. You know what I mean?
Aaron Pico is an athlete. He's powerful. He has a lot to offer.
Yes, I agree, but Aaron Pico's going to need more than that, which he does have, for Adam Borics. Adam Borics comes into this fight with a lot of Muay Thai, kickboxing experience. He has some good knockouts. He actually has submissions off his back. He's definitely confident when he goes into that fight, and that's with reason. He is 8-0. He does finish fights, whether it be in MMA or in his kickboxing/Muay Thai career.
Aaron Pico's going to have to come into this match and prove all his doubters wrong, especially after that last performance against Henry Corrales. He's going to have to show that he's more patient, because in that last fight, he was a little overzealous, looking for the finish, and he got himself in trouble against a brawler. He can't come into this match with that mentality against a well-diverse striker in Adam Borics.
We know that Aaron Pico has bricks for hands, but he doesn't have a brick of a chin. You can't rely on that to just run in there and try to crack Adam Borics just because he's getting hit by Adam Borics. Adam Borics is going to be the longer fighter. He's going to have a wide stance, and he's athletic himself. Aaron Pico's not going to be able to rely on that, nor his chin, to just run in there, land a big shot on Adam Borics. Aaron Pico's going to need to use his wrestling and his experience.
He loves to stay in boxing range, which is already easy transition to his wrestling game. Taking away that space from Adam Borics, I believe he's going to take away a lot of Adam's options in the fight.
Especially with that long, wide stance that Adam Borics likes to rock with his hands down occasionally. So who do you got for this fight?
I'm going to go with Pico. I think he's going to come out more patient. He changes levels well in his combinations, and he's notorious for that liver shot. I see a second round TKO, Aaron Pico.
I have to agree. I'm not ready to get off the Pico train. I think he fought experienced veterans. He has a lot of potential still. A very good skill set. I don't think his chin's very brittle. Ate some very clean shots. Sorry, I'm not trying to put him down. That being said, I think he's going to use that experience to win this fight. He knows what's on the line. He knows he can't lose another fight. At least not this soon in his career after the previous losses. He's going to come in there, use his wrestling, I believe. Yes, his wrestling, to actually control Adam Borics and win the fight. I'm going to say with the ground and pound. I still see him being aggressive, still being ambitious, and trying to grind him down. I really hope he's going to pull out his wrestling. He fought experienced fighters that had good game plans. He got emotional, overconfident. That doesn't mean that he is going to lose this fight and get overconfident in this fight. He has good people around him, I believe, still. He should come into this fight with a more open mind to implement a more wrestling-heavy game plan. Aaron Pico for the win.
And next up, we got the rematch, this time for the Bellator Bantamweight belt. Darrion Caldwell versus Kyoji Horiguchi. Darrion Caldwell is a strong wrestler for this division. We saw in the first match, he took down Kyoji multiple times, had him against the ropes. However, this time it's in a cage. How do you see Kyoji adjusting to that?
Well, the difference is that there's no corners. He can consistently move and escape being cornered because there are no corners. Can't be cut off as easily. That's the difference between fighting in a cage, a circular ring, I guess, rather than a squared boxing ring, essentially. So in this fight, he's going to be able to use his lateral footwork a lot better. He's going to move with a nice wide stance, be able to throw long punches, and get out of there. And he's going to be able to use the fence to keep himself up. He's going to be able to lean against that fence, dig for the underhooks, and try to tire Caldwell out a little more. Caldwell is strong, athletic, all of those things, but he's a little predictable. Haraguchi's already going to know what he's in for. He's going to know what to go for. Haraguchi knows what he's in for. He's going to know what to look for so that he can either dig for the underhooks, break the grips, get his back off the fence when needed. But overall, I think Haraguchi's going to be comfortable in a cage, something without corners where you can use lateral footwork.
Caldwell's going to be just as comfortable in a cage. He's going to be able to use the fence to lean all his weight on his opponent in those grappling transitions, versus in a ring, he really had to hold on to him. So the big question in this fight is going to be, can Haraguchi get up?
Oh yeah, Haraguchi's going to get up. He's a wiry individual. Very strong, athletic, kind of big. Earlier when I said he had great lateral movement and that he was going to utilize it in this fight, I forgot to mention his great in and out movement. Haraguchi's going to come in with his hands down, more confident than the last outing, because he's going to know how to use that fence to get back up. I know what you're saying, that it's going to help Caldwell. I personally don't agree. Haraguchi's going to use that to get up, turn away from Caldwell, and find the center of the octagon, aka circle in this case, because we're at Bellator, and start landing some hands. I believe Caldwell's too tough, too experienced to get finished by Haraguchi, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I got 3-round decision going to Haraguchi. He's going to be able to get up, start laying hands on Caldwell. Caldwell's not going to be able to do much, and Haraguchi's going to move around him, landing at will.
I'm going to have to go the other way. Darrion Caldwell's coming into this fight with a full camp. I don't think he'll tire like he appeared to in the first match. And he's going to be able to consistently pressure Haraguchi and force him to his will. Darrion Caldwell, 3rd round submission.
And here we go, on to the next fight. Dillon Danis versus Max Humphreys. Dillon Danis coming into this fight 1-0. Max Humphreys is currently 3-2. Dillon Danis, a so-called up-and-coming star in Bellator. In my opinion, he's just living off Conor McGregor's rep, known for being his lapdog / jiu-jitsu coach. I'm not saying he's not a great jiu-jitsu practitioner. I'm just not convinced he's a great MMA fighter yet. Don't want to overthink this fight. I'm just going to come out and say it right away. I believe Max Humphreys is quote-unquote cannon fodder for Dillon Danis. I believe he's being fed so that he can make a statement in Bellator and hopefully be a star for them, which I actually don't hate, even though I'm talking like this. Definitely don't hate it. The more people we can get into MMA, more people that get eyes on it, have anybody to follow or hate, is okay with me. So I believe Dillon Danis is going to get it done. His skill set is not fake, just his personality.
The Bellator matchmakers know what they're doing with this matchup. I agree. This is set up for Dillon Danis to win. Max Humphreys, I don't believe he has any Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu experience, and we all know this game's about levels. So that being said, Dillon Danis is multiple levels above Max Humphreys on the ground. And that's what we're going to see. I think Dillon Danis is going to be able to submit him in the first round. On to the co-main event is Lyoto Machida versus Chael P. Sonnen. Lyoto's coming in with a record of 25-8, while Chael Sonnen is 30-16-1. Lyoto is a dangerous counter striker. He does a great job of baiting his opponents and then counters with his blitz-like attacks. How do you see Chael neutralizing all of Lyoto's weapons?
It's not about just neutralizing Lyoto's weapons. It's about getting Lyoto to think about something else other than Chael diving for his hips or diving for his legs. Lyoto has shown he's very effective against wrestlers. That's because he keeps his hands down while he's moving. That means When the wrestler does commit to going in for his legs, it's easy for him to dig underhooks, get under the armpits of the wrestlers, and get them to stand back up. He did it to Randy Couture. He did it to Dan Henderson. When it's time for the clinch, he does not play the game. He will push you off. He will push you by your head. Where the head goes, the body will follow, as the saying goes. Lyoto sticks to that. He's the dragon, but he treats you like you're the snake when he's wrestling someone. He keeps the head away, digs for the underhooks, and doesn't let wrestlers get in on him. That being said, how's Chael going to do this? Chael's going to have to actually bang with him for a little bit. Chael's going to have to let Lyoto think that Chael might actually try to box him up. Should he box him up? No. But he definitely needs to make Lyoto think about getting punched in the mouth. Chael has to go in there, try to land shots on Lyoto's head, maybe land some body shots, maybe even throw a kick. Just get Lyoto's hands to come up to make the entry just slightly easier. That way Chael can take him down. Once Chael gets on top of him, I believe Chael will be able to control him for the most part. Might get back up, but as long as he can maintain the clinch, I think he'll be able to hold him. What do you think?
I think Lyoto's going to be able to use his jiu-jitsu to get up a couple times, enough to win a couple rounds. Lyoto possesses enough skill on the ground to be able to get back up, force it to a striking exchange, where he'll utilize his feints, his front kicks, his crane kicks, and really manage the distance. I see him winning in a unanimous decision. What do you think?
Well, I got Uncle Chael P. Sonnen, undefeated, Tito tapped, greatest of all time, 3-division champ. But for real, on a serious note, I am going to pick Chael in this case. I believe Chael's a very cerebral fighter. He's done his homework. He understands. He realizes that Lyoto's going to try to use his blitzing, in and out footwork, lateral movement, and quick hands from the hips. Chael's going to need to cut off Lyoto's lateral movement, get Lyoto thinking and respecting Chael's power. He's going to have to get Lyoto thinking about his hands, his power, and his strikes as well. He can't come in here very obvious with what he's trying to do. Lyoto has good hips, keeps his hands down, so it's easy to dig the underhooks. As Dominic Cruz says, underhooks. And I fully agree with him. But I think Chael's going to know where to be, what to do, get Lyoto on the ground. And I believe Chael's going to be able to get him on the ground, win via decision. Nice, easy, clean W for Uncle Chael P. Sonnen. Still and furthermore, forever undefeated People's Champ. And now we move on to the main event between Rory MacDonald versus Neiman Gracie. Rory MacDonald's coming into this fight 25-1. Neiman's 9-0. Some would call Rory MacDonald a modern MMA legend, but the name Gracie is a legendary name in MMA. And with that legendary name comes a legendary game plan, which is to submit your opponent. We know Gracie's coming in there to clinch up with Rory, take his back, choke him out, and or choke him out any other way that he can. The real question is, will he be able to tap Rory? And will he find himself in any positions to even get the opportunity?
Rory MacDonald is the master of game plans. His whole MMA arsenal is actually perfect for game planning against any opponent. His crisp jab sets up his entire offense. He controls the distance. He sticks mostly to straight punches, never overcommitting. And the timing on his takedowns is very impressive. However, I don't think he's going to want to take it to the ground against a Gracie.
I definitely agree. And Neiman hasn't shown to have very advanced striking yet. He's essentially a basic striker who's waiting to get into that clinch position, try to get a backpack going, and choking you out. So Neiman's going to have to show us something a little new to beat someone like Rory MacDonald. We know Neiman wants to take Rory's back. We know Neiman wants to get it to the ground. We know Neiman has somewhat basic striking. I'm just not sure how he's going to get to the positions he wants to get into.
Rory MacDonald has faced the best welterweights in the world, including one in Damian Maia. I think he's going to come out with a similar game plan. He had his hands low. He's ready to sprawl, just throwing those straight punches, not allowing Damian Maia to get under and into his hips. He did get taken down a couple times, but by then it was the later rounds. They were all sweaty, and he was able to slip out and get back up. I'm taking Rory McDonald, third round. I think he's gonna ground and pound Neiman Gracie. How do you see this going?
Can't say I disagree. Roy McDonald really does have the arsenal to deal with someone like Neiman Gracie. His wrestling defense is not going to give Neiman the opportunity to take him down. Roy has superior striking, great game planning. I'm not trying to look over those statements he made in this John Fitch fight. I don't believe you are either. But I'm not trying to focus on them too much either. Fighters are humans just like anybody else. I believe Roy has steamed that out. Will stay focused on someone like Neiman Gracie, who has a, no offense, but an obvious game plan. He's looking to take it to the ground and choke you out. Roy's not going to allow that. Roy's too dynamic, too skillful, way too experienced. I got Roy with a 4th round TKO. He's going to make Neiman stand up, pepper him up until he's starting to pretty much stand still and become the Red King once again.
This is a big card for Bellator, it being in New York. They're essentially having a showcase of their young talent and the people they're trying to push. And this tournament idea is exciting. I hope they do more of them. I hope the UFC even attempts to do it, or any other promotions.
These Bellator cards are getting more and more interesting, more and more competitive, and deeper. I'm enjoying it, loving it, getting my attention. I'm glad we're covering it. So with that being said, we're about to head out. Let there be no doubt, these are our predictions.
Enjoy the fights, guys.
And we out.